Hello everyone, this is me Aisha Habib and my group partner Abdullah Siddiqui. Today we are gonna present our topic how 2002, 2008 and 2013 elections strengthened democracy in Pakistan. So first of all, let me start with its background. Pakistan has troubled record for democracy. In its short history, Pakistan has experienced four military rules. The first effort to install a democratic political order was initiated after independence in August 1947 and lasted until October 1958, when the army chief General Ayub Khan assumed power. During these periods, the political institutions and process degenerated and the bureaucracy and military gained ascendancy. The second democratic phase was spread over December 1971 to July 1977, when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto headed the civilian political order. His effort to consolidate civilian political order and constitutional rule came to an end when the military assumed power under General Ziaul Haq. The third unsuccessful bid to stabilize democracy was made between December 1988 and October 1999. Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif served two terms each as elected prime minister. The military top command wielded selective influence on policy making from the sidelines. The military turned to power for the fourth time on October 12, 1999, when the Army Chief General Pervez Musharraf assumed power after knocking out the civilian government of Nawaz Sharif. He designated himself as the chief executive rather than chief martial administrator, as was done by his predecessors. Martial law was not imposed but the suspension of the constitution made Pervez Musharraf of the supreme authority in Pakistan. A referendum was held on 30th April 2002, which allowed Pervez Musharraf to continue as president for 5 years, receiving 97.9% of votes in his favor. Similar referendums were held by General Ayub Khan and General Ziaul Haq. Ayub Khan, after imposing military rule on 7 October 1958, he asked for a vote of confidence, in which he got 95% support and was sworn in as president. Likewise, Ziaul Haq, in his military rule, held a national referendum based on whether the people of Pakistan want the process of Islamization to continue in Pakistan. Zia received 99% of votes in his favor and was sworn in as president for the next 5 years. Now I'm gonna talk about elections of 2002. General elections were held on 10th October 2002 to elect the National Assembly and four provincial assemblies. The elections were held under the military government of Pervez Musharraf. The two mainstream parties, the Pakistan People's Party and Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, had several restrictions imposed on them and their leaders, Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif, were in exile. In order to address the restrictions, the Pakistan People's Party created Pakistan People's Party parliamentarians under the leadership of Amin Fahim to contest the elections on its behalf. The PMLN was also suffering from the party's division into two factions, one that remained loyal to the Sharif and were contesting the election under the leadership of Javed Hashmi, and the other which had broken away to form the pro-Musharraf Pakistan Muslim League Quaid-e-Azam. The emergence of Pakistan Muslim League Quaid-e-Azam marked the beginning of multi-party system in the country, bringing an end to the decade-long two-party system between PPP and PMLN. In National Assembly election, the Pakistan People's Party parliamentarian received the most votes, but the PMLQ won the most seats, winning 126 seats. Zafrullah Khan Jamali became the new Prime Minister of Pakistan. Musharraf's civilized political order could not shape up as a viable political system. It remained closely associated with General Pervez Musharraf, who called the shots rather than the Prime Minister or the elected Parliament. His rule ran into serious trouble when he attempted to remove Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in March 2007 in an arbitrary and unconstitutional manner. The lawyer community and the civil society launched a movement against him, which was joined by the political parties. This marked the beginning of the end of his rule. He attempted to salvage his situation by political manipulating, but this didn't work. Despite losing credibility after 2008 elections, Musharraf refused to quit the presidency. When the parliament decided to initiate impeachment against Musharraf, he found himself completely isolated and resigned on August 18, 2008, marking the end to his direct and indirect military rule. How 2002 elections strengthened democracy. The elections held in 2002 least contributed to strengthen the democracy, but it laid the foundation of a democratic and free elections process in the country. These elections were held during the dictatorial regime of military President Musharraf. This fact undermi- undermines the role of these elections in strengthening democracy. Critics point out that how could this election strengthen democracy when the country was then being ruled by an autocrat? President General Pervez Musharraf had repeatedly said that democracy had taken root in Pakistan. He pointed to the freedom the press enjoyed, the existence of a functioning parliament, and the accountability of officials, along with the enhanced role of women in national politics. He had also remarked that it might seem strange that he, being a person in uniform, talks about democracy and insisted he has established a lasting system of democracy. However, irrespective of what Musharraf said, the people of Pakistan saw that an army chief had become their ruler, that he was equipped with vast powers under the 8th and 17th amendments of constitution. He created a majority by cobbling together different elements in the aftermath of the 2002 elections, and that whoever might be occupying the seat of Prime Minister Mir Zafrullah Jamali, Chaudhry Shahjad Hussain, or Mr. Shaukat Aziz, he was he was the one who made that appointment. These prime minister apparently assumed their offices with the parliament's majority's vote, but there is no illusion as to who enjoys the real power. As for the degree of freedom of the press, this is neither a sudden occurrence nor a gift from anyone. It is the press itself that has protected its freedom and secured its place for itself. Still, this election very founded very terms for a process that continues even today. Now, my group partner Abdullah Siddiqui will talk about elections of 2008 and 2013.
Hello. So now we'll talk about the 2008 elections. 2008 elections were held on 18 February to elect members of National Assembly and the four provincial assemblies. On 3rd November 2007, President Pervez Musharraf enacted a state of emergency and elections were initially postponed indefinitely. However, it was later stated that they would be held as planned. First, the elections were to be held in January 2008. However, after the assassination of Benazir Bhutto, the Election Commission conducted a meeting and announced that 8 January was no longer a feasible date and the elections would be held on 18 February. The election saw a resurgence of Pakistan People's Party and Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, which emerged as the two largest national parties in the National Assembly. Following Bhutto's death, the PPP had come under the leadership of her 19-year-old son Bilawal, as according to her will. However, the party's election campaign was led by Asif Ali Zardari. As the co-chairman of the party. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz was under the leadership of Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan as Nawaz Sharif was still in exile. Yusuf Raza Gilani was appointed as the Prime Minister of Pakistan by the PPP leaders. Musharraf conceded the defeat of his party and pledged to work with the new parliament. However, due to the common mistrust of Musharraf, the PPP and PMLN initially formed a coalition government. Thus, Pakistan returned to democracy for the fourth time. However, within a week, the PMLN left the coalition to lead the impeachment movement and a campaign to restore judiciary. The PPP instead formed a government with the Muttahida Qawmi Movement, Awami National Party, and the Jamiyat-e Ulama Islam. Now, how 2008 elections strengthen democracy? As far as the elections of 2008 are concerned, they can be marked as middle ground in Pakistan's ways towards free and fair electoral process. These elections, which brought Pakistan People's Party into power, actually strengthened democracy by ending rules of autocratic rule. Further, allowing a healthy election campaign in the traditional mainstream political parties added to the spirit of democracy in Pakistan. After the elections, all the 60 judges were restored on 30th April 2008 who had been suspended by Pervez Musharraf. Although Zardari and Nawaz Sharif had differing opinions on the restoration of removed judges, still they collaborated for strengthening of democracy by introducing the 18th Amendment in the Constitution. The 18th Amendment removed the power of the President to dissolve the Parliament individually, turning Pakistan from a semi-presidential to a parliamentary republic. This amendment was intended to counter sweeping powers amassed by presidency and the former President General Pervez Musharraf and General Ziaul to ease political instability in Pakistan. Moreover, this bill reversed many infringements of the Constitution of Pakistan over several decades by its military rulers. This amendment bill was passed by National Assembly on 8th April 2010 and by the Senate of Pakistan on 15th April 2010. It was the first time in Pakistan's history that a president gave up a significant part of his powers willingly and transferred them to the office of the Prime Minister and to the Parliament. Even though the most powerful civil president of Pakistan, Zardari preferred to transfer all powers to the Parliament provinces for the protection and promotion of democracy and federation. This amendment removed amendments in the constitution introduced by General Pervez Musharraf's administration, especially the 17th Amendment. Zardari and Nawaz Sharif also attempted to minimize the chances of a military coup by adding clauses to the Article 6 in the Constitution of Pakistan to strengthen democracy, which said that whoever tries to suspend the constitution by force or by any other unconstitutional means shall be guilty of high treason. Lastly, it was the result of this election that the PPP government completed its constitutional tenure of 5 years, thus establishing a well cherished democratic norm in the country. Now, I'm going to discuss the 2013 elections. The general elections were held on 11th May 2013 to elect the members of the National Assembly and the four provincial assemblies. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz received the most votes and won the most seats, but fell 6 seats short of a majority. However, following the elections, 19 independent members of parliament joined the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and allowed it to form a government alone with the Nawaz Sharif as the new prime minister. The 2013 elections were the first civilian transfer of power following the successful completion of a 5 year term by a democratically elected government. How 2013 elections strengthened democracy? Elections held in 2013 can be regarded as a high point of democracy in Pakistan. It was a result of a peaceful and unprecedented transfer of power from one democratic party to another through these elections. It was the election when three major mainstream political parties contested to emerge out. Moreover, the election strengthened democracy by introducing the norms of effecting campaign amid the more learned public opinion. When Nawaz Sharif's government faced serious threats from PTI leader Imran Khan and Pakistan Awami Tehreek leader Dr. Tairul Qadri, both of whom who had stormed Islamabad to dislodge the government. At that moment, it was the PPP leadership in the National Assembly led by Zardari, which supported Mian Nawaz Sharif and saved his government. In this way, Zardari helped save the democracy which otherwise would have derailed. Despite to conclude, despite there was some controversies attached, the general elections of 2002, 2013, and to some extent that of 2002 added to the strength of democracy in Pakistan by introducing good electoral norms and providing the masses with a better political environment. These elections brought a practice of peaceful transition of power from one government to another un, in constitutional way, thus discarding all unconstitutional practices of the past years. What they say is first democracy is better than a military rule या फिर जो कहते हैं कि बदतरीन जमहूरियत एक आमरीत से बेहतर है. These were the references that we used in our presentation. That's all. Thank you so much.